So we got 46 orders going out on eBay, and before we get into pulling and packing those orders, I just want to go into some of the reasons of what I'm going to be doing differently in my business for the foreseeable future. It's going to be a big shift in my business, but I think it's going to be for the better. You guys are going to see all of the behind the scenes of what I'm planning to do to kind of combat some of the weird things that we've been experiencing on eBay over the last several months. But let's get into pulling and packing and see what exactly is selling on eBay. So we got these men's PacSun chino pants, size 32, sold for $14.36 plus shipping. And this plain women's t-shirt by Lady Foot Locker sold for $14.36 plus shipping. And these women's Old Navy chino pants, but the model is Pixie, these sold for $14.25 plus shipping. Usually the Pixie, which is like the skinny, tapered leg chino pants, can sell better than regular pairs of Old Navy. These were listed just about a couple weeks ago, $17,431, and took a best offer of $14.25. One thing I've really been enjoying lately, now that we're adding more and more rows to our inventory system, is this type of inventory sequential system, so you can pull these orders quickly and efficiently, minimal loss of orders, easy consolidation, so you guys can help go further faster when you're pulling and packing your orders. We got this Oceans Pacific men's button-up shirt, sold for $11.25 plus shipping. I just encourage everyone, we're all in different stages and levels. When I first started on eBay, I was doing this box and bin system, which is great. That's a great system. If you want to get started and get going in this type of system, that's a good way to start. These bins have gone up drastically in price. When I first started, they were $6.99 at my local Walmart. Now they're up over $10. So per bin. So a great way to start. Yeah, that's great. But I just kind of got tired of picking up bins and lifting them up and down over and over again. And making that switch into this type of system has drastically changed my business. I'm able to now pull the orders quickly and easily and minimal loss of any orders. So if you're looking for anything that's going to be similar to this setup, like the racks or maybe you just want the boxes, you can find that all linked down in the description below, where it has my complete inventory system, from the poly bags to the SKU labels to even the racks. And that is just a great way that you guys can support the channel. If you're ordering supplies already and you click on the link, that is great and I greatly appreciate it. One of the slowest brands is the brand Perry Ellis. They make really nice button-up shirts, nice men's silk shirts, but they just take forever to sell. This is a Perry Ellis, new with tags, men's button-up shirt, size medium, sold for $19.57 plus shipping. So while it did take a year to sell, it still sold for a decent price. So I just want to go into more of some of the strategies that I'm doing that eBay has kind of forced me into as a reseller. And this is something that I've always been open to. I really do like the fact that we are now able to do this with the use of AI and different types of innovation on these apps, and that is offering my items also on other platforms. So I'm going to be experimenting more and more with cross-listing and seeing how that goes with getting more people, more eyeballs on my items that I already have listed on eBay. We just have about 9,400 items listed on eBay, and I'm thinking about experimenting and just seeing what happens. If it can be cut down to a manageable time where I'm not spending too much time with cross-listing and it's just an easy, seamless process with the changes some of these platforms have made, I'm going to be dipping my feet in and seeing how it goes, because I think there's no way that by having your items shown to more possible buyers, how is that a bad thing? As long as I can just manage it and make sure that it's not become a problem in my business. So you guys are going to be shown everything behind the process, behind the channel, if it's going to help me make more sales by offering these items on other platforms. Let's see what happens, but I'm excited to share with you guys all of the behind the scenes with what is going to be happening with my eBay store. I'm thinking about cross-listing to Mercari, Poshmark, maybe some items on Depop, we'll see. How many of you guys do cross-listing? Comment down below. How are you liking it? What apps are you using to cross-list? I want to know how it's impacted your business, and how much time do you spend on that cross-listing app? Is it an annoyance, or is it something that's been pretty seamless for you guys? I do want to get into a few questions that came in, specifically on the last podcast I did, kind of talking about some of the problems that's been going on eBay and how we can overcome them as resellers. So Sammy Hall says, I agree. It's the way what you know, it's easier. It's hard work to build other platforms, but as you said, to put all your eggs in one basket, someone could run and take those eggs and then you won't have anything. Yeah, so talking about how I only sell on one platform, and that's eBay. And that's great. I love it. But I'm also thinking about how can I expand it in other areas, right? So basically, this is just reconfirming everything that I talked about in the podcast. You can check it out right here. I'll put a link to that podcast. You don't want to miss it because I talk about eBay's Q2 earnings report and going more in depth into the numbers of what eBay is showing, how many active buyers on the platform, how many active sellers on the platform, and it gives you a good idea of the direction of what is going on. So another great comment by Miranda 0807, my Poshmark is doing great right now. July has been my best month ever. Odd, but I'm not complaining about it. See, things like that bring me a smile, and I appreciate that. But yeah, so really good stuff. Brian Roning, also a great YouTuber. Go follow his stuff. But there are people that do not promote on eBay. And I think Sean with Taylor Exchange as well does not promote any of his listings. But Brian Roning as well. Team no, promoted listings, organic only. So it really also comes down, and the most important thing is putting good items that people actually want in your store. So that's going to help you combat a lot of the slow sales, a lot of the problems. If you could just go out sourcing maybe one extra time a week to find those good items that are actually going to be in demand, that's another way to combat slow sales. So let's get back into what sold, and we'll circle back to more comments. This Karen Scott women's fleece sweater sold for $14.36 plus shipping. Not the best brand. Did take a while to sell, but it's okay. People are buying more and more sweaters now. Something that I also have done differently in my business is I have been offering a 30% off daily coupon in my store for about 2 years, 2.5 years. And I just actually recently experimented a little bit, and now I'm doing a 20% off coupon over the last week. And I've noticed that the sales have been the same. So people are still using the coupon, people are still using it with the same amount of frequency, except now I'm making about $1.50 to $2 more profit on my items. Do you guys ever play around with the percentage that you offer on your coupon? Maybe you do a daily coupon, a weekly coupon, but in my eBay store I had ran that 30% off coupon for the longest time, and now I'm noticing instead of getting those $12.56 sales where they just use the coupon, I have a lot of my items priced around $18 bucket pricing, and now I'm seeing those orders come in around $14, $15 using the 20% off coupon. So that is great. Those are the things that I'm looking to innovate upon in my business. I think it's important to always be open-minded when things change in your business, and always experiment. Don't be set in stone on one thing or the other, especially in the world of change, right? So let's see what else is selling. Here's some new with tag Levi's 511 Slim Skinny. These jeans sold for $30 plus shipping. These came from the storage unit buyout that I did last year, that there was quite a bit of new with tag items. So this item was listed about 8 months ago, and I took a best offer of $30. Shout out to Vince Camuto. Thank you for this awesome product. Vince Camuto women's tank top. This is a 3X plus size, sold for $14 plus shipping. Vince Camuto is an okay brand, but one thing I've been really trying to strategize upon is picking up plus size tops. A lot of low-end brands, not necessarily bad brands, but just lower tier brands, if you start looking on eBay plus sizes in those categories, you're going to find a pretty interesting surprise. Very high sell-through rates. Not exactly a high average sale price, but 50, 60, 70% average or sell-through rate on these items. So Old Navy 3X, 4X, 5X plus size tops have a great sell-through rate. J. Jill 1X, 2X, 3X plus size tops have a great sell-through rate. So start looking at some of the lower tier brands that you would probably pass up, and if it's a plus size top, look it up. Take the time, because it could be something that you can be adding into your business to help speed up the velocity in your store. I'm definitely on the lookout for more women's plus size tops. All right, these diesel jeans sold for $55 plus shipping. Do you want to put these in the box for Daddy? Yeah. I'm gonna put them up here. Little helper? It's heavy, huh? It's too heavy. All right, we're gonna put it right up here. Thank you, little helper. You wanna wave to the people? Good job. When I just started out reselling on eBay, and specifically for clothing, the one thing that took me a little bit of time was figuring out all the different types of patterns within these item specifics. There's checkered, there's heathered, there's paisley, there's houndstooth. There's so many different types of patterns that we really need to figure out if we're going to be proficient at being an eBay clothing reseller, which is why I developed this guide, the ultimate guide to eBay item specifics. It goes over a lot of those item specifics that you might have questions about. So it has patterns, it has sleeve types, it has different types of women's tops, men's pants, women's pants, all of the item specifics that you would normally find on eBay that you might have questions about are all going to be found and answered in this guide. I think the hard copy is a little bit better because you could have it by your side as you're doing your listings. You can find it linked down in the description below, or you could scan this QR code right here and it will take you right to the site. I feel like a lot of people have been reaching out and giving great constructive feedback, and if you do get the book and you like it, I would greatly appreciate an Amazon review, as it helps me kind of fine-tune my process for my next book. So greatly appreciate the support and love y'all. All right, so an interesting brand here is the brand Dovetail. This is a women's workwear company. Dovetail makes like specifically women's work jeans, work pants. If you're familiar with Carhartt, they make a lot of products similar to that brand. These have a great sell-through rate and a great average sale price. These Dovetail women's pants sold for $52 plus shipping on eBay. So I want to get into a little bit more of why it's so important to remain innovative in your business and always be open to ideas. Don't ever be boxed in your business. Don't ever be set in stone, because remember, the world is changing. That is the one thing that is certain in life, that there will be change. I think a lot of stress and a lot of problems arise when people think that their situation is going to remain the same. And I'll tell you what, that does not exist. There is nothing in earth, in the universe, that stays the same and that is constant, except for math and numbers, but you know, or natural law. But the world itself is in a constant state of change. So I think as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you really have to be open to change and open to ideas. Never focus on the fact that things are going to stay the same, because once you get comfortable thinking that things are going to stay the same, that's when the shift happens and you're going to go, what the heck happened? So that's why, you know, I know there's a lot of talk, you know, I don't know, negative talk about why we shouldn't be cross-posting, why it's good for people to be cross-listing. I'm always open. I've never had a set in stone opinion about, you know, oh, it's bad or oh, it's good. I think that there's always innovation that's coming to these apps, you know, List Perfectly, Vendu, Flip. So all of these apps are hopefully able to guide us to be able to get more sales on different platforms. So that's the thing that's really been crossing my mind lately over the last week, is that, well, you know, if there is an app out there that's going to serve me best for my 9,000 plus items to cross list, then I'm going to give it a shot. The best thing about giving things a try is that you could always go back. You know, you could always, most of the time, right? Unless you're jumping off a cliff or out of a 10-story building, that's kind of hard to go back from that. But as far as like our business, trying promoted listings, trying returns, all these things that you could try and then just go back. It's not permanent. So that's the thing that I really wanted to try out. I know, and I've seen a lot of people have good success with cross-listing. So I'm gonna give it a shot, see what happens, and I'm gonna document the process along the way. I don't see my sales getting worse. Why would that happen? I don't see that happening. So I'm excited to see how much more sales we could bring in by cross-listing to other platforms. So we'll see what happens. Now I gotta go find that package. One thing that I was happy to see over the last few days was our impressions are back to normal. Like I said before, we were usually average between 450 and 550,000 impressions a day. That was basically cut in half for the last 10 days, and now we're back to about 500 plus thousand impressions. So definitely something strange going on there. Don't know what to tell you, but are your guys' impressions back to normal? I want to know. Comment down below. Did you even experience anything happening with your impressions over the last 10 days? I've seen time and time again people posting, their results of what's going on with our impressions. It's a mystery. So I want to know. Were you affected by that at all? This women's extra small dress by the brand Old Navy sold for $7.50 plus shipping. This men's Calvin Klein button-up shirt, size small, sold for $10 plus shipping. This men's polo with the Los Angeles Chargers logo on it, so some NFL gear going out. This sold for $14.36 plus shipping. It was a size extra large. So coming up right now is football season. So if you're getting a lot of sports gear through the winter, through the early spring, kind of more in the off season, when it comes to the NFL, you're going to start seeing a little bit more traction pick up. I know I have a lot of Oregon Ducks gear and a lot of, 49ers, Chargers, more of those West Coast teams, a lot of Seattle Seahawks stuff. Now that stuff is starting to move with training camp just starting off. Yes, I do watch a lot of football. If I'm going to watch anything, I don't watch movies or shows. If I watch anything, yes, I am a football fan. So yeah, very exciting. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that I'm starting to see an uptick in football gear and collegiate as well. So that's nice because a lot of the times when the season is off, during the off season, those items don't sell very well. Wanted to get into a comment from Tina. She goes, "Hi Bo, an error they've been experiencing lately is when they're uploading their photos on the desktop, the photos have a spinning donut and then it kicks them out of the listing site and then they have to start all over again. Very annoying and very time consuming." So I have not experienced that special error on eBay, but that would drive me nuts. So one thing you can do, and I would try this before contacting eBay, is just logging out, logging back in, and also clearing your cookies and your cache within your browser. Sometimes that can help. Very rarely does it help, but every once in a while that does seem to work. But comment down below, what weird glitch have you guys been experiencing on eBay? For me, it's not being able to find items that I know that are listed and I cannot find them in my store. Also, the sending the invoices out to the buyers always restarts the date, so I cannot select buyer hasn't paid on my invoices, because if I send them out every day, it just resets the date. So those are the two ones that I've experienced. Also, the messages from members never resets too. So there's a few things going on, but comment down below. What's your favorite eBay error that you've been going through? I want to know. Like I've said, this brand is just not very desirable, but since it came from a storage unit buyout, I was kind of stuck with it. The original buyer paid, what, $49? It's Perry Ellis, not the best brand. This is a Perry Ellis knit sweater, 100% cotton. It sold for how much? It sold for $15 plus shipping. So this is a Maurice's women's long sleeve shirt, but what is special about it is that it's a women's 2X. So plus size, sold not fast, but it sold for a decent amount of money. It sold for $14.36 plus shipping. Here are some Quicksilver Chino Quicksilver Chino shorts, size 32, and these men's shorts sold for also $14.36 plus shipping. These women's shorts by the brand Elodie sold for $6 plus shipping. This is a great brand here. They make a lot of nice messenger bags, satchels, handbags, wallets. They make a variety of men's accessories. This is a To-Me travel messenger bag, the Fusion Z model, new with tags. Originally $195, but this had sold for $80 plus shipping. So a lot of these bags came from a storage unit buyout, and what a blessing to have some rock solid brands in there like To-Me. So if you do sell handbags or want to get into selling handbags, I would suggest start deep diving some of the brands that you're going to want to focus on, and one of those is To-Me, T-U-M-I. This is a plus size women's denim vest by the brand Capistrano, women's size 20, sold for $14.36 plus shipping. This is a men's pair of jeans by the brand DKNY, sold for $20 plus shipping. So I want to talk a little bit about some bad purchases. There are things that we do buy as resellers that weren't exactly the best item to be picking up. And if you were just starting out, you're going to have more of those, especially if you're not taking the time to research more in depth. So this is just a Russell Athletics men's pullover polo. It is Oregon Ducks branded, but it only sold for $3 plus shipping. And I run an aged inventory markdown, so if this doesn't get sold during the first 90 days of the original price listed, it's gonna keep getting marked down 20%, 30%, 40%. So this item is pretty old. It's 216 SKU number. This is over a year and a half old, so it made it to the lowest markdown sale, selling for $3 plus $7 shipping. My cutoff point to where I'm going to be in the profit is about $3. So I probably made 25 cents on this sale. So I just want to say to you guys, it's okay if you make bad purchases, just avoid making a ton of them. I still make them from time to time, but I think as you get more proficient as a reseller, you just want to avoid buying these types of items in the future. Another very old item, these are some Wrangler women's jeans. Took about over a year and a half to sell. These sold for $4.76 plus shipping. All right, and what we got here is a Wrangler Pearl Snap shirt, but this is a 4XB, so it's a big and tall size for men. Sold for $21.95 plus shipping. These are some women's Abercrombie & Fitch vintage jeans. They did have a couple holes, I think a stain or two. They were just listed a couple weeks ago, but I took a best offer of $10 plus shipping. My cost of goods for the year is sitting around $1.17 per item. So willing to let these go for maybe getting some less items that are stained and with holes. But vintage Abercrombie & Fitch for men's jeans sells for quite a bit more, and specifically like the camo and the cargo shorts, the paratrooper pants, that's what you want to be on the lookout for within this type of brand. This is just a women's long sleeve button-up shirt by the brand Eddie Bauer, sold for $7.50 plus shipping. These are some women's Gap fleece shorts, sold for $10 plus shipping. Just want to stress the fact that one thing that we can do better as resellers is to continually pick up the same items that we're picking up and selling over and over again. So I would just suggest, if you are going through a little bit of a sales slump, slowing down during the summer, go back and look at your sales history and check out the items that you are selling in your store, and then figure out a strategy how you can go and pick up those same items over and over again to continually keep selling them. For me, I really do like to focus on what I am actually selling in my store, so I need to know whether I need to go pick that up again or not. Sometimes items take years to sell and they sell for great profits, but if that's your business model, then then you might need a little bit more space to work with to be able to hold that many items, you know, that take a couple years to sell. But for me, I'm looking for quick selling items. So I'm really focusing on the amount of time it took for me to sell that item and what did it sell for. So I'm always looking at my sales page, figuring out, okay, these are the items that are selling fast. And I'm also looking at, okay, stay away from these items because they took 2 years to sell. So that's just a little tip if you are experiencing slow sales. Start really focusing on the items that you are actually selling. All right, we're going to be rebranding this episode to the Perry Ellis Bolo episode because I've never sold 3 Perry Ellis button-up shirts within a day. Today's the day. All different buyers too. This Perry Ellis button-up shirt, new with tags, sold for $22 plus shipping. Took about a year to sell. All right, so we had this vintage JanSport hoodie sold for $10 plus shipping. It had a college team on it. I think it's Azusa Pacific. So yeah, $10 plus shipping. Starting to sell a lot more hoodies, sweatshirts, jackets. Another Oregon Ducks polo, but this had also been listed out of season, so it did fall through the markdown sales. Still sold for $3.15 plus shipping. This women's Gap t-shirt, size small, sold for $6.36 plus shipping. This Lucky Brand women's knit sweater sold for $10 plus shipping. All right, so we had this women's Croft & Barrow, just a regular women's blouse with a paisley pattern, but the difference here is it is a 1X plus size. Took about 6 months to sell for $9 plus $6.95 shipping. So plus size tops is something that I'm continually going to be bringing into my store. These American Rag men's jeans, size 32 sold for $14.95 plus shipping. Actually $17.95 plus shipping. American Rag is an not so good brand, but I am still picking up many jeans if they're in good condition, and especially in the size 32 as that is the most common men's jean size there is. So just sold this men's tote by the brand Marmeco, sold for $30 plus shipping. Also came from a storage unit buyout. So happy to be selling these bags because it's not something that I'm going to be continually actively listing in my store. I'm basically just going to be taking these profits and looking to reinvest them into buying more clothing. This is a men's ribbed BKE knit sweater made out of cotton, sold for $13.10 plus shipping. I have seen more sales with jackets and sweatshirts over these last few days than I've ever seen so far this summer. So if you have jackets or sweaters lying around in your death pile, I'd advise to get them listed as soon as possible. This women's 2X top by the brand Spence sold for $12.56 plus shipping. It is a fairly new SKU, so I had just listed this a couple weeks ago and the person used a coupon, so a very fast sale, which is what I'm trying to look for. This women's button-up shirt by the brand Foxcroft sold for $12 plus shipping. So getting going as a reseller can be a little bit difficult and tricky, especially if you have no idea where to start, which is why Marcus Dixon and I have combined to offer a reseller mentorship. Combined, we did over $320,000 worth of sales on eBay last year, and we just hit about 55 members in our Patreon where they are using the same tips and strategies that we have applied in our business to help get us onto a 6-figure mark. So if that's something you're interested in, maybe you need just a little bit of accountability, maybe you want a little bit of guidance on how to source products, how to do your titles, you could check it out, link down below, or you could just scan this QR code here. Right now, for a limited time, we have a 7-day free trial where you can basically just join, get a feel for the community. We offer 9 hours a week of Zoom coaching. Marcus does the morning call, I do the evening call, and we help you guys strategize some tips that we're using in our business to help you guys implement those as well. Included is a reseller spreadsheet, access to an item-specific guide, and also hundreds of hours of pre-recorded coaching calls. If you do like it and you feel like you're moving and grooving in the community and you are picking up some tips, it's just $1 a day after that, after the 7-day free trial. We'd love to see you there. This men's Saucony shirt, just like a dry fit shirt, moisture wicking, sold for $10 plus shipping. This women's Style & Co. linen blend dress sold for $12.56 plus shipping. Innovation can be one of the key components for you guys to be able to maximize your business, especially in a time of crisis and of significant change. So we're all experiencing a little bit of back and forth when it comes to eBay. So it just comes down to when you put all your eggs in one basket and everything is on eBay, you might want to start diversifying some of those different strategies on how you can develop multiple streams of income so the ride can be less bumpy. So I just encourage you guys, that's what I'm doing, and you're going to be able to see a lot of the behind the scenes of what I'm doing in my business to kind of avoid some of the ups and downs that comes with selling on eBay. So you guys want to check out this video right here if you want to start figuring out what other types of brands that you can start adding to your brand list. In this video, we talk about the top 10 brands that are found in my Reseller's top 50 BOLO list. I break down those 10 brands as to why I'm specifically looking for those. I do that for the next time you guys go out sourcing. Maybe you can find some of those items as well. You guys have a blessed rest of the week and take care.